If I had a penny for every single time Audible causes controversy, I would be rich. So grab your emotional support blanket and buckle in because we have some piping hot tea to spill. If you watched my first video, you already know that I have an issue with Amazon, and that is why I found an alternative to Kindle, which was iPad. I went into the details in that video. This time, my issue with Amazon, who owns Audible, big shock, is that a couple of years ago, Audible was called out for unfair royalty payments to authors, narrators, etc. Basically, if you returned the book from your credit, the author did not get paid, period. And large names like Greene Sanderson removed their books from Audible, sent letters, put a lot of pressure, and said, hey, this is not fair. You need to do better by your authors. And after a long time, Audible listened. We were shocked and skeptical. I was not really planning to ever get an Audible subscription anyway, but my husband really loves audiobooks, and we did look into a lot of alternatives for that just to kind of figure out, okay, what can we do instead of subscribing to Audible and giving them more, which they don't need. Well, then the news broke that Audible actually tried to maybe listen to its consumers and raise the royalties for authors. And I was so excited because I was like, you know what? I'm gonna wait and watch and see how this goes down, because if they do better, then yes, I will support that. No, they did not do better. If you haven't heard, and I'm going to link a few videos down below that describe this much more succinctly than I will be able to, because there have been authors who have gone through and combed through the new terms of agreement with their attorneys, and they are laying out every single thing line item by line item. I am not going to do that, but I definitely want to take a moment on this very, very small channel. I don't have a platform by any means. I'm a blip on YouTube. But I want to make sure that YouTube picks up the algorithm of, hey, this is what's going on, so that more and more people become aware of it and start platforming it on their channels. And I think that one way to do that is to just keep the conversation flowing, even if it's just a small creator, because that adds up and it shows that there's a statistical spike in the algorithm towards that topic. So that's what I'm doing here. Audible basically decided that they were going to say, hey, you know what? You're right. We're going to give you 50% royalties. And everyone was like, oh, that was amazing. Thank you. Thank you. Then they got the contracts, and it was basically in a roundabout way that is probably not like the best description I'm going to try. It basically averages out so that all of the authors get 50% of your subscription. So if you are a part of Audible Plus, and there's a lot more that goes into this, especially when it comes to kind of trying to force authors to become a part of Audible Plus in order to get that 50% royalty rather than being part of the $7.99 tier. But if you're part of Audible Plus, if you have that credit and you use that credit for a book, that author will get the 50%. If you listen to one book, theoretically. If you listen to a couple of books, everyone has to split your tier. So essentially, your $7.99, we'll go with that, goes to 5 authors, 10 authors, however many books you listen to in a month. They are all splitting 50% of that $8. So $4, but then you listen to 5 books. That's less than $1 a piece. So they basically made it look initially like, oh, well, authors get 50%. So if you're signing up and you're like, okay, but do you actually support your authors? You're going to see that authors get 50% and go, wow, that's amazing. But when you actually read how it breaks down, it's all of the authors you listen to get 50% and they share and split that. And there's a lot more that goes into it. I'm not even going to try and explain it because I'm not the best person to. Again, if you're interested in the actual breakdowns, it is in the links below. What I'm here to talk to you about today is that there is currently a petition going on with change.org, and that is also linked down below, where you can say, hey, I as a consumer do not agree with this. This is not what you should be doing. Now here's why should you sign that petition? Aside from the fact that it's the right thing to do, because we want to support the authors that are giving us these books, right? We have a book, it's on our TBR, we're so excited. It's the second book, third book in a series, whatever. We love this author. They're gaining traction, whatever. They want to quit their full-time job in order to give you more books. If we don't support that, they're not going to be able to make ends meet. This is a really big deal. This is someone's livelihood. But in addition to that, Audible is large enough that they will become industry standard. Before I started looking into Audible alternatives, because my husband loves audiobooks, I did not know that besides Libby, I did not know that other options existed. That is sad. That is how industry standard Audible has become. We do not want that. We want the competition. We want to say, hey, this is not what we want. And this is a really big deal. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. It seemed a little too good to be true. I don't want to be that person, but I'm just like, maybe I'm just a pessimist at this point. But I have no hope for their redemption at all. But if we could at least have them listen to the authors and listen to their consumers and go, okay, we will change a few things. I think that there are better ways to do this where they're not sacrificing their breadwinners. Or maybe they want to. Maybe they want to sacrifice their breadwinners because they're going to go more towards AI. I know that AI narration has become a thing and that they're testing out a lot of AI narration, and I will do that in another video, but I'm kind of wondering if maybe this is also a way for them to say, okay, well, we're going to raise your price, and if you don't like it, then we'll do AI narration as the norm in order to get your price lowered, and people will go with that because it is cheaper. And in this economy, I don't know. I don't know what the long-term plan is here except for them to make money, which fair, but I know that we can do better by authors. So the link is in the description below to the petition. Please take a moment and sign it. It'll take you 5 seconds. Let's own our bookish space and make sure that it's a safe environment for everybody, and that includes the authors who contribute to our bookish love. Okay, bye.